All right, this is Dr. Doyle. This is chapter 3, Discovering Your Strengths. It's kind of chapter, we dive in here and it gets going with the traces of talent, which in becoming a leader, I think, as we talked about before and as we discussed in this class, some of those characteristics are God-given, or, whatever you want to call it. Maybe it's not God-given. Maybe it's you're born with these things. I personally like to call it those are God-given talents or traits or ways to become successful. So chapter 3, we dive in and goes, how can you identify your own talents? And I think this is very important because a lot of times in life, people want to do things that they're not talented at. If you have talents, I think you take those talents, you embrace those talents, and you apply them to your life the best way you can, the best way you can use those talents to your advantage to be successful. That's how you'll move through life and be successful, not because you're better than the next person, but because you've zeroed your attention in a sense on what's important and what you're good at. Why would we do something as people that we're not talented at, that we're not good at? Not to say that there's things in life that can't be taught, and there's not talents that we can't learn and talents that we can't get information to and provide, and I shouldn't say provide, but apply to our life. Not that those things are out of the question, but there's just certain things that we are better at than others, and those are what we identify as our talents. So here it was, reveal your talents, which, hey, I kind of just touched on that. I don't want to dive too much into that, go too far into that. But so this piece came up, and this was Kathy P., a senior manager for a computer software company. And she gives us a dramatic example, they call it. She was bond for her company's annual sales meeting in the Dominican Republic. Squeezing into her tiny seat, she glanced around her to see who was sharing the puddle jumper. Spread out in the back row was Brad, the aggressive and impatient CEO. In front of him was Amy. So I didn't mean to go into this detail. I didn't mean to read straight from the text, but I wanted to touch on something. I've kind of lost it. But what I've noted from this was monitor your spontaneous, top-of-the-mind reactions to the situations you encounter, which to me says, you want to take whatever situation you're in, and we want to make the best of that, whatever that is, no matter what comes about that, or what you have to do, what you're going through. I think we want to target our talents and handle our situations the best way I can using my talents. And so we want to discover the source of our strengths. And obviously that's what this book's called. But this chapter 3, hones in on that. And I like the way it does it. I'll say that. And so it goes into the Strengths Finder profile, and I like the Strengths Finder profile, and I like trying to figure out what your strengths are and all that. But at the end of the day, I think people know their strengths. They know what they're good at. They know what they're afraid to do. They know what they're afraid of, in a sense, and we have to be okay with just accepting our talents. And that doesn't mean whatever we're not talented at, that doesn't mean that we have to shy away from that stuff. We can still do that, but we want to use the things we're good at to be successful. I'll say that. And chapter 3 was one of the shorter chapters, and it, like I said, touched on the Strength Finder profile. And you take, even if it's 100 questions, say you take 100 question profile, that's great. Is it really gonna get you to where you're gonna be? Is it really gonna tell you what you're good at? I don't think so. Now I could be wrong, but I think you know what you're good at, and that's what you have to apply. And that was my main takeaway from chapter 3. That could be wrong. I disagree with, the strength finder profile in a sense. And I know you want us to tell you what we disagree with. So that's kind of where I wanted to be with chapter 3. And I will get this over to you.